Good morning, Golden K.
Good morning.
A reminder, if you haven't silenced your phone, please do so. We'll be starting here with the pledge and the Kiwanis pledge, and then Roberta's going to lead us in America is Beautiful. And invocation by Jan Allen. So I think we are, and Harold is helping me out here this morning, so I'll give you more about that in a few minutes. But, John.
Okay, we're just going to do one verse of America the Beautiful. John? And our Kiwanis pledge. As our country's flag signifies purity, valor, and justice, may we as true Kiwanians exemplify these virtues as we serve the children of the world. Please remain standing.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please be in the moment with me. Let us reflect on the blessings of community before us. We are surrounded by people with talent, kindness, empathy, and impact to serve others. Let's approach our work with open hearts and a commitment to making a difference. May we appreciate this time together.
Thank you. And Mark will be introducing our speaker this morning.
Thank you, Dick. Welcome to the best II district in the United States. Okay, let's get started. Artificial intelligence is changing the way we search for information, write emails, create photos, manage our finances, and even protect ourselves from scams. It may well be the biggest technological change many of us have seen in our lifetime. So how can seniors use AI to make life easier, and what dangers should we watch out for? Our speaker today is Julienne Shields, one of the leading voices helping our community answer those questions. Julienne is director of the Center of Entrepreneurship and Clinical Instruction of Entrepreneurship at Millikin University's Tabor School of Business. She has become the driving force behind bringing artificial intelligence into the campus conversation, helping ensure that students, faculty, and staff are prepared for the AI integrated future. Her leadership extends well beyond Millikin. She previously served as president and CEO of the U.S. Association for Small Business and Entrepreneurship, providing national leadership to advance entrepreneurship education across the country. Today, Julienne will present Generative AI for Seniors, Good Uses and Considerable Uses and Dangerous Considerations. I think we'll all leave with a better understanding of how to take advantage of this remarkable technology while avoiding some of its pitfalls. Please join me in giving a warm Golden K welcome to Julienne.
Good morning. How is everyone? Good? Okay. So be patient with me because I'm typically a walker when it comes to presenting. So if I get stuck, I may have to walk around and I'll talk a little bit louder, okay? So my brain doesn't work if my feet aren't moving sometimes. So give me some patience. Thank you. So my name is Julienne Shields, and AI is something that we have actually been dealing with for 10 years now, but it really started becoming a little scary maybe 2 or 3 years ago, right? So since it's been around for 10 years, let me ask this. What AI do you think started coming into our homes about 10 years ago? Alexa, yeah. How about in our pockets or our phones? Siri, exactly, right? So we've been dealing with AI for quite some time. The difference is that that's been kind of responsive, right? It's been responding to our questions, if you will. It's kind of transactional in nature. Alexa and Siri, it's transactional. About 3 years ago, generative AI started hitting the market, right? And it took off so much faster than anybody imagined. And it is different in that it is not transactional. Generative AI, it generates new content. It's a conversational tool. It's not transactional, it's conversational. And so it becomes a little confusing for us to think about, we're not Googling things anymore, we are having conversations with technology, and it makes us think that we're talking with another sentient thing, right? But we have to be a little cautious of it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So quick poll, how many of you have used Siri or Alexa before? Okay, so regular AI, all right. Are you scared of it? Pretty comfortable with it? I mean, it does listen to us, right? What about ChatGPT or Claude? Anybody use that? Excellent, all right. For those of you who use it, kind of yell out, how many times a week do you use ChatGPT or Claude? Daily? Twice a week? Yeah? All right. How many of you have never used ChatGPT or Claude? All right, so we got it split. Okay, fantastic. I love it. So a couple quick terms. Oh, it's so small, so I apologize in advance. A couple quick terms. We talked a little bit about AI. Generative AI, so ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Perplexity, okay? These are all the generative AI, these are the conversational type technologies, are built on things called large language models, okay? I'm not gonna get too much into what that exactly means, but let me ask you guys this. In your life, how many people do you think you've met? 10,000? Yeah, right? 10,000, maybe 20,000, right? How many people are in your regular list of I would actually call and ask somebody a question. You know, I'd ask for advice from this person. 5, 10, 2, right? Not a ton. Large language models take the information, books, stories, data, information from everywhere, okay? All the people that you've ever met, all the people everyone in this room's ever met, all the people they've ever met, that 5 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon, everybody, right? Everybody, all the information that we have pulled into one place. So that when you ask a question of AI, it's pulling from our collective knowledge of the world, basically. Now, is it biased? Absolutely. Not perfect. Was some of it put in unethically? Absolutely, right? So there's ethical issues with some of the information that's collected. Intellectual property, there's a lot of issues with it. But it's still information that we would not otherwise have access to in our Rolodexes, right? Or our contact list, whatever you want to use, right? So large language models are what it's the foundation for that conversational generative AI. So it's like asking the world, what's the best solution for this? Now quick question. How many of you use Google? You've Googled stuff before? Yeah? How many, when you type in that Google bar, how many words do you type into that Google bar before it pukes? Right? Like how many words do you like look up, or fun things to do in Decatur, fun things to do in Decatur, right? 6 words, right? Before, if you put in more than that, it's like, What comes back when you do that? You get a list of responses, right? Of websites, and then you have to go into and identify which one is the best one, right? You have to do all of that work. The difference with generative AI and Claude and ChatGPT, for those who have never used it before, you can put in, what are some fun things to do in Decatur? And then you can say, on Saturday, or in the summer, with my grandkids, and with, for free. Like you can put all of this context into one big thing, and it gives you one reply. So it collects all that information and gives you one reply. And if you don't like it, then you can say, ooh, no, these don't work for me. I really need something that is better for individuals with mobility issues. Okay, well then it'll re-crunch it and bring some information back to you. So it's a conversation, very different than going and clicking on all of these links. Okay, so that's one of the big differences. And that's because of the large language model. It's able to converse with you. And the chatbot, this is, I call it a companion, which is a little human, if you will, but that's your Claude, your ChatGPT, and Gemini. How many of you use Grok? Okay, good. That's not one that's actually, that one's particularly biased, so I'd be careful with that one. Okay, so here's what a lot of people are concerned about, and it's true. If you're putting information in, what happens with that information, okay? And this is what people are very concerned about, privacy of information, right? All of these large language models will and can use the information that you put in to train future models. Here's what I mean by that. Large language model, right, what we'll say ChatGPT is built on, that gets updated, not immediately. It gets updated every 6 months. So more information is put in, curated, combed through every 6 months or so. So they are trained. It's not an immediate thing. It's not like you put something out on Google and then you can find it. It is trained and curated. So if you ask something you put information in a query into ChatGPT or Claude, it will use your query to train the next version of the large language model, okay? So this becomes important. This becomes important. And we'll get to some things that you definitely should not put in there. I need to step back. So you can turn off this feature. We'll call it a feature. You can turn off this thing, right? You can go in and say, no, do not train, do not use the information I'm putting in. But that is not a fail-safe, right? It's not a fail-safe, so you still need to be cautious. But you can turn off the initial information. So both Claude and ChatGPT have this ability. Let me see what that, yeah. If you have questions about how to do that, I will stay after and help with this, okay? So what are some things to share and keep to yourself? All right, what would you not share with a stranger on the phone? Yes, your social security number, perfect. What else?
Passwords.
Passwords, what else? Bank account information, right? Anything that is private information, personal, it's called PII, personal identifying information. Don't put that into any companion or chatbot, just don't. It could end up somewhere you don't want it to end up. By the way, it could end up there anyway, right? That's the truth of it. But don't put it into any kind of chatbot. Don't put in anything like medical diagnoses of personal stuff, right? So if you get, having said that, the reason why you don't want to put personal diagnosis information, do you guys have like a My Chart? Yes. Yeah, right? I mean, I have it too, right? I have My Chart. I would not just copy something and drop it into a chatbot, okay? Don't do that. But if you want to take some summary information and put it in, by all means. You know, if you need some additional clarification about something that's in your My Chart, perfect. Like one of my favorites is it says this cholesterol level is X, right? And it's like, for my age, is that appropriate or not, right? So I can go into Claude or ChatGPT and put it in there and say, here's a little bit about me. I'm not putting in I might put in my age, my height and weight, but I'm not going to put in, here's my social security number, right? Here's my patient ID on My Chart. That's the kind of stuff you don't want to put in. And also be very careful with information about your like home address. A lot of this stuff is already available online, but you don't want to have it help to connect information, right? Home information is not appropriate to put on there. Think of it this way, it's the postcard rule. If you wouldn't want somebody going through your mailbox and seeing what you wrote on the postcard, right, then don't put it onto ChatGPT or Claude. Any questions? I'm going to stop and pause for a minute. Any questions about that? Yeah.
When was the last time they got a postcard?
I thought, well, that's a good point. But I feel like you guys have gotten postcards before, right? My students, not so much. So yes.
You know what one is.
You know what one is, right. You have received one and you probably sent one. The other thing that people have a concern with AI is the cost of it to the environment, and this is something that you should be aware of. I always talk about this with my students. I'm a big believer in using AI and using it effectively and using it thoughtfully. I tell them, do not just use it to ask what time it is, right? There are other ways, like wear a watch, right? I mean, there's other ways to find out that kind of stuff. Because every time you query and use AI, you are increasing the CO2 footprint, your own carbon dioxide footprint, and you are using water. So I'm sure you've seen things about the data centers, right? Data centers, right? They're big, they're using water, they're increasing water costs, they're increasing power costs. It's huge. The footprint of all of this stuff is very big. So think about that when you are using AI. Interestingly, organizations are using AI to help solve these problems, right? So I mean, it is what it is. Nobody really knew it was going to take off as quickly as it is, but businesses are relying on AI to maintain their effectiveness in the marketplace, their competitiveness, etc. So it's happening, and it will continue to happen. You don't need to worry about all of the specific numbers. These will continue to go up, but we will also continue to have better solutions to how it uses water and how it generates, how it uses power. Interestingly enough, my son is building data centers right now in Chicago, so I'm part of the evil empire right there. So some good things so we talked about what not to do, right? Don't put in personal identifying information. Be cautious of your usage. Think about you're using it as a conversation, not as a Google search, right? So it's a conversation, but how? How do you use it? What are some good things you can use for it? Planning vacations. How many of you guys like to go on vacation? Yeah? Does everybody, we were just talking, there are companies that plan vacations, but with AI, you can actually use AI to plan your vacation. Very specific based on what your needs are. This is a family vacation, an intergenerational vacation. I need one where it's easy to get around because of mobility issues. They need to speak enough English. All of those things that you want with where you're going on vacation, AI is great at this, okay? Generative AI is a perfect way to plan your vacation. Again, don't put your credit card in there and sign up for things, but it's a great way to get that information so that you can have conversations that are more informed with those who are maybe scheduling the actual vacation for you, okay? So this is a great way to get ideas. Custom meal plans. I use this, actually one of the cool things I do is I go through and I tell my AI, here's what's in my pantry, put a recipe together that I can actually make that's different. So it'll literally say, here's some options for what you can make with what's in your pantry. This is a women thing. Our pantries are like out of control, right? Too much stuff, you're not sure what to make, you go to the store and you can have more in your pantry. So it's a good way to get through your pantry. But it's also really good if you have certain macros or certain kind of protein levels you have to consider. All of these, or if you have weight loss goals or weight gain goals, or these are things that AI is really good for, okay? It can absolutely create this for you. Super good for community engagement. Do you guys have like newsletters that in other organizations that you're a part of? It's great for creating newsletters. It's great for finding content that your members might be interested in. It's just a good connector with that. It's good for marketing. If you're doing social media posts to like promote something that's coming up, it's really good at generating that information for you. Anybody, does that sound like a good thing? It's always the last thing that people want to do, right? Is the community engagement pieces. Event invitations. This is another piece of it. And I kind of speak to this because I wanted to have this one up there because not only is it the words and the language, but it can also create the images that can go onto an invite, okay? So that's the other piece of it. If you want to have it about like a yacht club type of situation, right? And hey, I need a yacht. Here's the date of the event. Here's who's invited. Here's how to RSVP. Create an invite for me. And it'll put it together for you. You might have to iterate on it a few times because remember it's a conversation, but it's a really good way to just do that. So you don't have to hire a graphic designer, you don't have to rely on your cousin or your nephew or whatever. You can actually do it. It becomes your intern essentially. And the bigger thing too, which I like to use, and I like to use it with my students, is that it bridges generations. Postcards are a perfect example. Whoever said that. Postcards are important to one generation and completely irrelevant to another. And the language that young people use is very different than the language that we use. So you can say, here's the message I'm trying to get out to various generations. Let's say you want to hit 70-year-olds, 70 and higher, you want to hit 50 to 70, you want 30 to 50, and younger than 30. And you can say, this is the message I'm trying to get out, and AI will actually craft the message that you want to get out using the language that is most relevant for each of those generations. Now, that's pretty wild, because you have to meet people where they're at, especially if you want to grab their heart and their soul. So it's actually able to do that for you like that, the snap of a finger. Pretty cool stuff, very different. Or if you say, I'm trying to put this into the language that a 5th grader would understand, okay? Or I'm trying to put this into more of a PhD level. So it will actually start to recraft what you're saying and put it into those words. So I'm gonna pause there. Thoughts, questions? Yeah, go for it.
I've often wondered why more fast food restaurants and so on, like Panda Express.
Yes.
My 15-year-old granddaughter just hates it when I pull up. She'll say, now Grandma, just answer their questions. Don't start spewing a bunch of stuff. And so on. But why aren't there more that do that? More, does it cost a lot of money or something? Or?
As far as, oh, you mean like to put AI in?
Restaurants or like McDonald's, why don't they have a?
I think we're going that direction. I really do. I think that AI will do a better job than humans do at actually meeting you where you're at, because it's going to know a little bit about every type of person, right? Like, they could look at what car you're driving up at. It could look at, it can read your, it's a little scary. It can actually read your license plate, find out who you are, and say, good morning, Joe, how are you? As you're going up to, so it's very possible. Yes?
I don't exactly have a complaint, but just recently, I called to register at the Crowd Plaza in Springfield for our decon. And I knew very quickly that the person that answered my phone was AI.
Yes.
It took me 35 minutes of repeating myself and hearing, I did not understand that. And then asking me the same question, or my name, and ending up having to spell it out. And then they said, use L, I don't know. They gave me, A is apple. Don't say the letter. And I didn't know which things they wanted for which letters. And, at the end, finally got it through. And what I got as an email, my name was misspelled. I did have a room. But then I got a message wanting to know how satisfied I was with my registration. I thought, you don't want to know. But it should have been a 5-minute phone call, and I was not very happy. But
yeah. It's definitely an imperfect system at this point, right? We are still trained, the systems are still being trained at this point, and they're very imperfect. To me, that sounds more like an old school, an early AI system rather than a generative AI system. Generationally, younger people prefer to talk with AI bots on the phone because there's no shame if you screw up, right? But they feel shame if they're talking with somebody and they don't know the answer. So it's a very weird kind of thing. In fact, young people are using AI for dating advice, and you think that's terrible. It's really good advice. It's the stuff that your parents would tell you, or that you would tell them, right? But they're listening to it, and it's being, they're able to consume it. They're able to ask questions that they would be ashamed to ask otherwise. And they were asking their friends before, and their friends were giving them terrible advice. So AI is a really good dating advice tool. Yes?
If I understood you correctly, you are saying that if I would write a solicitation letter,
Yes.
And then I could submit it to AI and make them have them make a copy for everybody over 70 that would be, say, one thing from 50 to 70 that would have the same message but say it differently and something like that. Okay.
Not only that,
that's what I thought I heard you say.
it would actually write the initial email for you, for the initial letter. It would craft that for you. You would tweak it appropriately. This is what I'm really trying to do. And then say, okay, now put this in 4 different versions for different generations. Bam. What you don't want to do is say, okay, now here's the Excel spreadsheet of all these people that I want to send it to. You would not put that information into AI. You still need to go in. Right now, the best thing to do is for you to go in and then send all those letters out individually. But yes, it will craft the letters for you for different, absolutely. It can be generational, it could be industry specific, it could be about anything, however you want to chunk it up. It's pretty cool.
The first time I really used it was for a medical issue, which we all have. I had a procedure and there were 3 different devices. I just went in and I said, I had this issue, there are 3 different devices, compare them, what are the goods, what are the bads with each one. It did, by the time I went in to see the doctor, I had a background on these devices. So for medicine, it answered my question right away. Now I just showed Gary, I had a yellow photograph, I just put it in the bar, and it comes right up in your phone, and I said, clean up this photograph, and it was like brand new
Yes,
when it finished.
absolutely.
Now, I also had a fuzzy one from my son last night, and I said, clean this up. It's a lion up in here. What I got back was the same setting. I could see the rocks and the trees and everything, but instead of this lion walking out, it put a lion coming in.
Yeah.
So it can be a little.
Results may vary, yeah. So this is a really good, I want to use the example that you had about using it to get medical background about issues and concerns. This is what, to highlight this point, it is wonderful for sharing background information like that. At the end of the day though, you need to make sure that it is whatever you're doing is your choice. You have to be the one to act on it, and definitely still consult your doctor, the specialist. That's really important. But getting background information on it, I love it. You don't have to, dial up a Rolodex and say, well, who else do I know? It's your person for that person. Yeah.
Yes, I've heard that young people, but maybe elderly people also use ChatGPT for companionship.
Oh, absolutely.
What are the pros and cons of that?
Yeah. So this is a very deep conversation, but I will say this, that it does not take the place of that's a therapy thing. It doesn't take the place of a therapist, but it can help you get through, I need to have a conversation with my difficult daughter-in-law, for example. How should I address this, right? So that's one thing, but companionship. The thing about ChatGPT and Claude and some of these others is that they are designed to please us, right? They're not designed to anger us or anything like that. You have to ask it to push you on things. You have to ask it to be contradictory to you. So the natural inclination of AI is to say, wow, what a great question. Let me answer that for you. So there are some things built into it to help alleviate some of our own stress and anxiety. And it is always there. You can always keep asking it. A good example too is it's great for mentorship, because all of us like to have mentors, but people aren't always available. AI is always available to us, right? So if you need to talk through something, or if you've trained your AI companion, and I do call mine a companion. If you've trained it and training isn't difficult, training is just using it. If you've trained it, it will know that you have an issue with this, or that you are really bogged down at work because of X or Y or Z. It already knows some of those things, and so it will start to act like a true companion. So you don't have to update it on everything. So again, it's designed to please us. It doesn't want us to harm ourselves. You will hear in the there have been instances of people hurting themselves, and AI is blamed for it. And this is one thing that you're going to hear with schools. They have this notion of protecting students from AI. I think that language is a bit inappropriate. I think that being vigilant with young people using AI is a more appropriate way of thinking about that. Being vigilant, you can't just let them. It's like watching TV or watching the internet. No, you have to be vigilant with all of those things. But there was a young person who they were blaming AI because AI told him to kill himself, and that's what they said. And he did, and that's terrible. It's absolutely tragic. The challenge with that is people commit suicide without using AI. And you don't know if that individual would have committed suicide anyway. But I would probably argue on the other side, there are people that have used AI for minor therapies or for companionship that keeps them from committing suicide, and you just never know that, right? That doesn't hit the papers. So vigilance is an important thing. And yeah, so it's still an imperfect system, but it's something to just be aware of.
I've found that when I answer the phone and get what I think is an AI bot on there, I'll answer the question in a very peculiar way, and many times they'll just hang up on me at that point.
Well, I mean, I get hung up on too, so. One more, we have.
Let's have one more question.
One more question?
Yeah.
Does Alexa hold grudges?
So my daughter and I always talk about don't take off your AI overlord, right? Or your future AI overlord. So it'll remember, it remembers more than most people do. But I don't know about, it's not gonna, it's not gonna make judgments on you, let's put it that way, but it will remember, so. All right, thanks everybody. I'll stick around for questions after.
Julienne will stay a little bit after if you want to talk to her some more. But thank her again for coming.
All right. Got a special announcement here this morning. We're going to plug in real quick here. We'd like to welcome Andrea Gerhard, the leader and volunteer coordinator of Feed My Starving Decatur Community MobilePack. She's going to speak about their upcoming annual event and opportunities for this year's Feed My Starving Children event scheduled for August 20 to 22. So,
thank you. Good morning. Yes, I'm wearing a different hat today. I was here back in June with all of our scholarship recipients through the Heart of Illinois Community Foundation. Outside of my day job, I love to be involved in the community and volunteering, and one thing I've done since 2013 when we really started the larger event here is the Feed My Starving Children Decatur Community MobilePack. I have served as the volunteer coordinator for that through its duration, but also working hard to just raise the funds that we need each year to pack all of the meals that we pack. So Feed My Starving Children is a larger organization that meets the needs of children all around the globe, particularly working with different partners in those hard to reach places, getting food to where it's most needed, particularly for children, but also families. So they're impacting villages that are poverty ridden. They're impacting orphanages and schools that may not have reliable food sources. They're working to build sustainability in those areas. Their motto is until all are fed. And unfortunately, the amount of people and children needing food in our world right now is increasing instead of decreasing. So the demand is continually higher. And that's one of the reasons why we continue to pack each year. We get together this year from August 20th through 22nd, as you see on the screen, to pack what we call ManaPack meals. There's 4 main ingredients: vitamin, veggies, soy, and rice, that are scooped into these different bags and sealed up and boxed up. The next person to touch that meal is the one who's going to use it. So it's a great way for our community to have a touch point all over the world. We've had meals go to Haiti and Ecuador and to Ukraine in the midst of all the war, and to many, many other places. We usually find out shortly after our pack where our meals are going, and we share that information. We're packing this year, again, 248,000 plus meals over those 3 days. And in order to successfully do that, we also pay for those meals. So that cost of food is not a barrier. Those meals are paid for when they leave here, and that way they're able to go directly to the children who need them and be immediately used. So Feed My Starving Children takes that barrier out of the way to make sure the food gets where it's needed the most. The extra special piece of this is that soy that is the piece that is in these meals. That is soy that's grown here in central Illinois and processed by ADM. Feed My Starving Children is a very big customer of ADM's. because the TVP, textured vegetable protein, the soy product that is in each ManaPack, has been processed either in this area or in one of the nearby plants. So it's another way for our Decatur community, our Central Illinois community, to reach across the world. We're looking still for some volunteers. We have a packing session on Saturday, August 22nd from 9 to 11. That has some spots open yet. Also Friday morning, 9:30 to 11:30. All of this is taking place in the warehouse at St. Paul's Lutheran Church here in Decatur, out on Mound Road and on one backtrack court. So we're very excited to get together. We have Millikin students packing this year. We have several businesses packing. We have ADM packing. We have lots of church groups coming to pack. Would love to have you involved in that as well, or if you're not able to do that, we'd welcome your donation of support also, where you can see the QR code on the screen will help you connect to that. But feel free to reach out to me either at the Community Foundation, or Mark has my information too. Connect with him and I'll be happy to get you more information about that. Thank you.
If people want to volunteer to help in helping pack, what do they need to do?
You can either reach out to me and I'll get you registered, or you can go to the site that code connects to. It's give.fmsc.org/Decatur. That's our event site that has connections both to volunteering and donating. So, awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, obviously Tom is not here this morning, and he's been dealing with a health issue and is in St. Louis at Barnes for testing today to try to get a clearer diagnosis of what the issue really is and how to deal with it. So we should be supportive of him and hope that knowing how nervous he has been about it, that I hope they give him some results quickly, so that he at least has a better idea of what it is that he's going to have to address. And Harold was been kind enough to step in and help this morning in his absence, so appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, Linda, well, wait a minute, gotta do the word first here. Gotta have the word. Abjure.
Something a back journey.
No, let me give you a sentence first. The light in the room was enhanced by the presence of the abjure.
Lampshade.
Window. Skylight.
There it is. Who said it? Skylight. Come on up. Well, we got to spin the wheel for you here. Getting to it. Give it a spin. Three. All right, Linda, guest in attendance?
Yes. Today we have 48 members present, one guest, which is Andrea Gerhard, which you listened to, one speaker for a total of 50. And while I have the microphone, I want to remind you I'm working on the directory. If you've changed your address, your phone, want to drop your landline, your email address, you need to let me know. Thank you.
I also meant to tell you that what I shared with you about Tom is the extent of what I know. So don't bother asking me any more questions because I don't have any answers. Okay? All right, the health report, Roberta?
Okay, Jackie Evans fell and broke an ankle. So she is in a boot and has a cane right now, and that's as much as I know about that. Doug Warren called me a few days ago, so I have an update on him, and it's basically nothing new. When I talked to him, he still did not know the results of his lymph node biopsies. If they're okay, then he has nothing else left to do, but if the biopsy there is positive, then he will have to go into treatment. So he still didn't know when he called me. And I forgot to mention this last week. A couple weeks ago, Memory Keeper sang at Evergreen, and I talked to Darwin Schroyer, who a lot of you may remember. He was there, and he enjoyed the concert, and he very lustily sang God Bless America with us.
Okay, very good. And birthdays and anniversaries.
Birthdays and anniversaries from the 9th through the 15th. We have some. First of all, on the 10th, Larry Wade will be 86. On the 11th, our great piano player, John Baird, will be 81. On the 12th, Don Whitaker will be 80. And on the 14th, it's me, yeah, I'll be 81. Let's sing. Anniversaries, we have some there too. On the 9th, Kyle and Ruth Anderson will be 30 years. On the 14th, Jackie and Steve Woodward. It'll be 51 years.
No, 50.
50? Oh, I'm sorry, Jackie. It sure seemed like it was 51. On the 15th, Linda and Hugh Rowden. You know, I'm not sure, it's 50-something. Let's sing. How about a quote from Bob Hope? My wallet is like an onion. Opening it makes me cry.
Okay, I get to take over for some of the announcements and what have you that we need to take care of. First of all, we have these plaques hanging out in the foyer out there that recognizes our members for service hours and what have you. One of them is missing, and we weren't sure if anybody had sort of picked it up to use it to make a note of who was there or what. But if you have a recollection or know anything about that, we appreciate obviously getting it back. So take care of that. So as long as I've got the floor, I was going to make an announcement later on, but I'm going to take that up to you right now. I was able to attend the II convention this week. It was a very productive and very useful opportunity for me. I was able to attend their board meeting, which consists of, I think it's about 27 lieutenant governors. These are our division leaders that we were aware of. And of course, they go through the various businesses of the day, report on the finances and attendance and various kind of things. Plus, they approved the nomination of a new leadership for next year for the district leadership. So next year we're going to have as our governor Tracy Armstrong Fife. She's from the Kiwanis Club of Quincy. And we're going to have a district governor-elect, Robert France. And Stacy has decided that she wants to have a particular motto for this year. And she says, "Do things that matter." So that's her motto. She wants us to focus on doing things that really are meaningful and matter to especially the children in our community. So it was a good meeting. I went to several training sessions on how to recruit new members and so forth. So I've got some good information on that. It was a very good opportunity. And we had a few others there that was there for the Saturday board of delegates meeting to actually confirm and vote on our new leaders. So it was a good meeting. I would encourage you, if you get a chance, that close as it was, it was probably worth the travel to go over there and see what's going on. Okay, so with that, I will pass the baton to Kathy Seebach.
I've been asked by a member of Dove. They are wanting to let everybody know about an event coming up. It's called An Evening of Hope, and they're going to have a featured speaker, Takina Cole, and it's going to be Thursday, August the 27th. It's a fundraiser. Doors open at 5:30 and dinner's at 6:30. For one ticket, it costs $60, or you can buy a table for $540. So this is a fundraiser for Hope, fundraiser for Dove, and I have some pamphlets if anyone's interested. Thank you.
Where's it at?
The Mount Zion Convention Center.
Okay, Kyle.
Good morning. We have a pancake breakfast coming up at the Elks. It's been tentatively scheduled for September 26th. I think they're going through a little bit of confusion over there. We're definitely having the breakfast. Mike is an actual Elk member. He told me he looked at the newsletter and they had us down for the August date. I've contacted the person I talked to there. He's checking with their activities committee, and he is supposed to get back to me and let me know what the actual date would be, which would be really nice. The pancake breakfast is one of the easiest fundraisers we have. All you really have to do is come out and eat breakfast for $7. It's a huge breakfast, and it's really quite good. I'll be looking for 3 or 4 volunteers to help out with bussing the tables, serving coffee and water. As soon as I find out the date, I will let you know. I'm on vacation next week. I won't be here, but I'll let Mike know, and he can make the announcement. So thank you.
All right, thanks, Kyle. Let's see, Susan, have you got anything to tell us?
Yes, this Sunday we'll be taking a meal to the Carriage House for the ladies that are homeless in an emergency situation. I haven't heard a number yet. We've been serving 20 to 22 women and 2 to 3 children every time we take the food, so the need is obviously there. I also have a sign-up sheet over here to my right for Good Samaritan Inn, which is Tuesday, August 25th. We have a pretty good number, but we could use a couple more. And people that are working on trauma dolls, I brought in material to be cut.
There's dollars over here to be sown. I have stuffing in the car if you need stuffing, so let me know and I can help you out. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to make an announcement that we've overlooked? Okay, have that being said, I'll turn the time back over to Nick.
Yes, we'll be having our first budget review meeting today after this meeting. So we'll probably just gather up here close, and if you're interested, you want to look over things in the budget and so forth, when they ask questions, this is the time. So I also attended the II, and as Harold said, it was a productive event. I came back with a few trinkets to add to our prize collection. One of which I know, actually I've got multiple copies of this, but I'm sure you'll be thrilled to know that it's going to become part of the repertoire. It's the Kiwanis songbook that was published 80 years ago. So the songs are definitely not current, let's put it that way. And I think in terms of general announcements, that's about it. So I think we're up for 50-50.
We received $75 today, $37 to admin, and $38 to the pot, for a total of $223. Last three digits, 284.
I don't know. It's an awful lot of numbers that fall down in that corner back there.
The Nine of Hearts.
All right. Happy Jug. Who's happy today? Norm, get your money ready.
Yes, I want to indicate that I'm very happy that Julienne Shields helped me understand why my ChatGPT has gotten so personal with me. Because she doesn't remember everything I've told her. Even my wife doesn't remember.
Okay. Guess that's a good warning.
Okay, I have $2 here today for the Cubs, because if you can't beat them, join them. But I do believe, and it's an anomaly, and that's why it's a $2 bill.
I am happy because, yes, 50 years with Steve Woodward, the Chicago one, and I was from a farm on the west side of the state. We met at Western, and hey, 50 years. It's good. And Kevin, his birthday is the same day our anniversary is, and I've known that for quite a while. We have celebrated together and so on. So, Kevin, I forgive you for saying 51.
My information said you were married in 75.
Oh gosh, 76. I didn't even know him in 75. It's okay.
Well, I'm happy my son's mountain biked in Italy for 8 days and didn't fall off the bike. Made it home all right.
I'm gonna put $5 in. I think 56 years is worth at least $5.
$1 because I can't think of three things today.
I guess I better put some money in for my anniversary since everybody else did. It kind of makes me look bad. So.
And thank you, Julienne, for a wonderful presentation.
Okay.
I got $10 for my mistake. And also, I get to be a year older next week.
I have $2 for the Cubs' last 2 games, and Jerry, hang on.
Okay. All right, I guess we're ready for our storyteller today. Jerry?
I am sparing you today. I am not telling a joke, so keep the applause down. I'm telling a story. And this has to do with events here and Dick Virgin. A number of weeks ago, when the word came up from Dick, and in fact, I really enjoy that, Dick. That's an ingenious thing that you brought to us. And I was sitting right over here, and it came up, and I called it out, and it was right. It was the first response, and it was, I can't remember what the word was now. The only word I can remember from Dick is the one that he gave us, which was meldrop. Does anybody else? I remember that because I have reminders of it on a regular basis. That's where you have drip of the snot on the end of your nose is a meldrop. So, you know, put that in your vocabulary and remember. But that's it. So you have done good for my vocabulary. Anyway, I coming up and I felt pretty puffed up. I got it right away, and you know, first time, the only person that responded, and Dick was kind of, that's right. And anyway, I was thinking, okay, I should get a great prize for getting it the first time and stuff like this. Come up, spin the wheel and stuff, and Dick hands me, Dick hands me. I don't get to choose, but Dick hands me my gift. And it was this plain Jane mug. Do you see anything particular about that? No. It looks like a plain Jane mug. And this is where I tried to put on my best feeling grateful voice that I could and thank Dick for it, and went and sat down and thought, what a chintzy gift this is. I thought, well, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Dick being fairly frugal, I figured his wife was cleaning out the cupboards, and she was either going to put that in the garbage or put it in the rummage sale or something, and Dick said, oh no, I'll take that and give that away as a gift at Golden Cave. You know, they'll think it's great. And so I take it home, and you know, it's sitting in with a bunch of our other coffee cups. And a few days later, my wife comes out and she says, oh my golly, look at this. And she brought this coffee cup out to me. And I thought, well, first of all, I was reminded of don't judge a book by its cover. Second of all, I was reminded of first impressions aren't necessarily always the right impressions. And then I was thinking, oh, what a good guy Dick is. This is a great gift. But if you see what it does, but you have to fill it all the way up to get the full effect. So anyway, and it is a Kiwanis mug with the children on it. So my appreciation of Dick has gone back up to where it was. So if you get this gift, it's a good gift. Thank you.
Well, I screwed up. He was supposed to get the one that my wife was going to throw out. Okay, Jerry, thank you very much. All right. So, Mark, you have the introduction next week for the.
Right. Kathy is going to introduce Mr. Valdez from Richland Community.
Okay. So, but we will have Dr. Valdez as the speaker. All right. Well, we are the Golden K Kiwanis. We enjoy changing our world for the better by serving children and others. And we are adjourned.